The first thing she felt was not pain, but startling closeness. A stranger's hand, rough and possessive, tightened around her throat, and in a single breath, it didn't just cut off her air, it stripped away her sense of safety. For a frozen moment, all she saw were his eyes, triumphant, merciless. Certainly he held complete power over her, but he didn't know he was holding a lit fuse. Where were you in the moment you discovered you were stronger than any including yourself ever imagined? Northwood High's fluorescent lights buzzed above like a tired heartbeat, echoing locker doors, distant chatter, and unspoken fears. In that daily storm of backpacks, gossip, and teenage ambition, Maya Evans moved like a whisper. She was the kind of girl people's eyes slid past without really registering. 19, quiet beauty, hair like winter sunlight woven with dark roots, eyes shifting between blue and storm gray. Her oversized sweater and worn jeans didn't hide her shape, they hid her presence. She walked with her head slightly down, clutching her copy of East of Eden like armor. Silence had been her shield for years, but predators often mistake silence for permission. Jake McCullough and Northwood's golden kersey never moved. He paraded, his Letterman jacket, his perfect hair, his arrogant grin. He wore them like royalty. His laugh didn't just echo, it claimed territory. His entourage followed like shadows. You noticed him too late. Last week, he had knocked her lunch tray onto the cafeteria floor and mocked her apology. She had cleaned it silently, head down, while laughter bounced off linoleum walls. Silence, her father once told her, is the deepest ocean. But today, silence betrayed her. He stepped into her path, smirk curling like a blade. You look like you wrestle alley cats for fun, he taunted. His friends laughed on cue. She murmured, I'm late. Please. His smile widened. You say please so nicely, but you know what? I don't think you're sorry. I think you are better than everyone. The hallway slowed, heads turned, phones lifted. Everyone knew the script. Jake the star, Maya the prop. His voice edged into a poisonous whisper. My buddy says you looked at him funny. You think you can give my friend dirty looks? Before she could answer, his hand shot out. Not a shove, a grab. Fingers locked around her throat. Her book thudded to the floor. Her hands raised, not to fight, but to surrender. Her breath caught. Her eyes widened to pure, silent fear. His grin said it all. He owned this hallway. He owned this moment. He owned her. But suddenly, deep inside, something shifted. Her fear didn't disappear, it was forged into something sharper. The world snapped into focus. Details crystallized. His posture leaning forward, weight on the left leg, wrist position, 2 accomplices, wet floor, lockers to the left, open hallway to the right. Her pulse slowed, her training rose from beneath her silence. Her left hand didn't push away, it trapped. Her body didn't retreat, it dropped, pulled, twisted. His balance vanished. Shock broke across his face. She drove her elbow into his ribs with surgical precision. A crack echoed. His grip loosened. That was all she needed. She pivoted, spun free, and faced him, no longer prey. Her stance was calm, steady, controlled. The fear was gone. Her eyes were no longer pleading. They were focused, cold. A mirror. He stumbled back, clutching his ribs, disbelief shattering his arrogance. Rage took the place of pain. He lunged a wild punch, fueled by ego, not skill. She saw it before he moved. She deflected, then delivered a swift, controlled strike to the throat. Not enough to break, enough to stop. He collapsed, choking, gasping. Silence engulfed the hallway. Students stared at the quiet girl who had been invisible yesterday and unstoppable today. She didn't gloat. She didn't taunt. She simply picked up her book, brushed it off, and walked toward her history class. The crowd parted, and not out of fear, but out of something new. Wonder. She hadn't just defended herself. She had altered something in the air. Videos spread, narratives twisted. Some called her a hero, some called her dangerous. The school wanted answers. Her father arrived, and not angry, but steady, proud. He looked at her, not as someone who fought, but as someone who finally stopped hiding. At the hearing, Jake tried to reclaim his throne with lawyers and lies. But the truth was waiting. Mr. Chen, the quiet history teacher, walked to the front and calmly played the original hallway security footage. No edits, no angles to hide behind. Every word, every threat, every grabbed throat undeniable. including the quiet venom Jake hissed after she walked away. "I'll find you. I'll make you pay." Silence fell again, but this time, it didn't protect him. He was expelled. The lawsuit vanished. The story changed. Maya didn't celebrate, but something inside her eased. In the weeks that followed, Maya didn't become popular. She became something different. Girls who once whispered now stood taller. Boys learned quiet didn't mean weak. A small group approached her, asking not for her strength, but how they could find their own. So she taught them, not violence, awareness, calm, voice, boundaries, choice, not how to be fighters but how to no longer be prey. She didn't teach them how to strike, she taught them how to stand. One afternoon, near graduation, a freshman girl approached, tiny, nervous, shaking. She didn't ask for anything, she simply whispered, "Thank you." Maya smiled softly. She had traded invisibility for purpose. The tiger had stepped out of the grass not to hunt, but to guard. And in that transformation, she found not power over others, but power within herself. Summer crept in quietly, like it didn't want to disturb her. The halls were empty now, stripped of their noise and cruelty, filled instead with echoes of what had happened. Maya stood in the training room after graduation, barefoot, still wearing her faded jeans and sweater, feeling the soft mats beneath her feet. The silence wasn't empty anymore, it was calm. It was hers. She thought of what her father once told her, strength is not something you show others, it's something that lets you sleep at night. For the first time in years, she knew what that meant. The door creaked open. Mr. Chen stepped inside, holding a stack of papers, though he clearly wasn't there for school business. His gentle eyes carried a warmth she always found difficult to accept, but today, she didn't look away. "You changed this place," he said softly, pausing as if choosing words that wouldn't overwhelm her. "Do you know that?" She didn't respond, just glanced at the mat, her hand lightly brushing the fabric as if remembering every moment she had trained, cried, broken, healed. "I didn't want to," she whispered. "I know. That's why it means something." He placed the papers on the bench. "Universities are asking about you, not because they want a fighter, because they see a leader." Leader. She felt the word land in her chest with a quiet weight. She wasn't sure if it fit. She had never wanted to be followed. She only wanted to be left alone. But then she remembered the freshman girl, the one who had whispered thank you with shaking hands. She remembered the others, two kids who now walked taller, not because they knew how to throw a punch, but because they had learned how to say stop. She looked at the ceiling. "What if I'm still scared?" Mr. Chen smiled, his voice almost a breath. "Then you are exactly who you need to be." That night, she sat on the porch with her father. The sun was setting, painting the sky in bruised pink and gold of the colors of endings and beginnings. He didn't speak for a long time. He never rushed her. "I saw you today," he finally said. "Not the girl I raised, not the fighter, just a broken bar you whole." Maya's eyes stung not with pain, but with something gentler, something like relief. "I'm still figuring out who that is." Her father nodded. "That's the good part." The next morning, she walked through the now silent school one last time, past the lockers, past the water fountain, past the place where her story had changed. She stopped where it happened, where fear had turned into something else. Not anger, not violence, clarity. She knelt, placing her hand flat on the cool tile, feeling not the memory of pain, but the roots of something deeper, something alive. Not the moment she fought back, the moment she woke up. As she stood, she didn't feel small, or hidden, or tired. She felt steady, and somewhere deep inside, the tiger did not roar. It simply breathed.